Welcome to Unit 2 Assessment. We are going to go through each problem with me giving you hints and prompts for each of the questions. What I would recommend is that you listen to what my prompts are and my directions, and then pause the video, go back and check and see if you did everything the way that you think you should, and then move forward to the next question. Okay, let's begin with question number 1. I'm going to circle the question that we're talking about just so that there is a visual. And of course, I'm going to erase that and change it to a different color. There we go. Okay. So for number 1, this is just like the first question that we did in our closure in class. You are going to fill in all of the boxes. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 boxes that you're going to need to fill in. And each one of those boxes is going to end up having either a fraction, a decimal, or a percent. So one thing I want you to think about is for this very first one, we're starting with a decimal. You're going to need to find the percent for that decimal, and then you're going to need to find the fraction that is represented by that decimal. For the second one, we start off with a fraction. Please remember what we talked about 1/3 as a fraction. It's a special fraction. So you're going to find the decimal, and then you're going to find the percent. Do not forget to put the percent sign. For the last one, what does this look like? It's a big number. We talked about this. We're going to go back from the percent to the decimal, and then back from the decimal to the fraction. I would ask you to pause the video right now and complete this table before we move forward. Question number 2 is our scales. For the very first one, this one right here, the hint I want to give you for this is you are going from 20 to 0 and then from 0 to -4. So please remember what that means when you're doing your subtraction. Next up is the second one. We did this one in class several times. Remember, there's a 0 right here, and you are trying to figure out this and this, and remember that they are different. They're not going to be the same. The scale for both of them is different. Hopefully that helped for the first page. We will move on to the second page as soon as you're ready. Here we are at question number 3. This is our 2 fractions that we're going to multiply. So remember, you are looking for a fraction and a fraction. I'm going to read the problem to you. At the end of the birthday party, there was still 1/3 of the cake left. Since Ada, BB, and CC were the ones to buy the cake, they decided to split the leftovers evenly among the 3 of them. How much of the original cake are they getting? You're going to need to have a fraction times a fraction, and that will equal your answer. Moving on to problem number 4. The directions tell you you need to simplify the fractional expressions below. You can use the model if needed, but you don't need to. So going back to problem number 4A, remember what the word of means in math. Problem B, you're just multiplying, and remember the rules for multiplication. And problem C, that's our mixed numbers. Remember, you cannot have a mixed number. You need to convert both of these first. Convert, C-O-N-V-E-R-T. Convert them. You do not need to use these, and I would actually recommend not using them because we did not use them in class, so they are not familiar to you. Try to simplify each one of your answers if possible, but try to make sure that for problem C, the improper fraction that you end up with as your answer gets returned back into a mixed number. So hopefully that was helpful. Go back, take a look at everything that we've done on page 2, And when you're ready, we will move on to page 3. All right, so here we are on page 3. Question number 5 tells you to solve the diamond problems below. Please remember that the bottom one down here is the sum, which means you add together. All right? You're going to add for both of these. You're going to add. That's what the word sum means. So the top up here, you're going to get that answer by multiplying. Again, this number up here, this -8, you got that number by multiplying. So how do you undo that multiplication to get here and then do the addition to get here? This one right here is much more straightforward. Pause the video, give it a look, give it a try, rewind if you need to, and then go back. Please be very, very careful. There are negatives in both of these. Remember, if you are multiplying a positive number and a negative number, your answer is negative. I'm going to give you an example. Let's just say that I have 2 groups of -3. 2 times -3, this is a multiplication sentence, would be -6. Okay, so there's your example. Moving on to problem number 6. We're going to solve each problem below, and we're going to see how far Cecil went. All right, now if you wanted to draw a number line or a tightrope or an integer tile to help you, you can do that, but you do not need to do that. You do not need to draw any of these things. What I'm looking for is for you to solve, okay? I'm going to give you an example. Let's just say that I have 2 plus a -4 plus 10. This is very similar to A. You want to make sure you do 2 things at once. It's 2 plus -4. Well, that's going to be a -2. Then you bring down the 10, and then you add those 2 together. It's kind of like saying 10 minus 2, which gives you an answer of 8. So that's the process. This is what I want you to follow right here. No equals, okay? Good luck with that. The only thing I want to point out to you is on number D, letter D rather, there is an absolute value. These are absolute values, so please remember, absolute value is the distance from 0. You want to do the stuff inside and then take the answer and find the positive distance for that number. I believe that that is everything. Good luck. Rewind the video if you need to, and I'm excited to grade your paper.